Hello, traders. Today is Wednesday, December 10th, and this is my morning market breakdown of all the pairs on this list, which is basically all the pairs that I do trade. Now, we do have FOMC coming out in, what is it now, about 4.5, 5 hours. So we're just going to run through the pairs real quick because I will be live streaming for that news event on YouTube. So make sure you stop in and check out my live news event, live stream for the FOMC interest rate news. So as of right now, I mean, to me, you would expect if this is the end of a pullback for this to now be making lower lows, lower highs. The only problem I have with that is if I go up to the weekly, I still am very bullish. I honestly still wouldn't be surprised if the dollar did end up making a move up and this ended up being like some sort of an expanded flat, even though it doesn't really look like an expanded flat. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, we definitely got to break a structure to the upside on the 4 hour right here. So now we would be looking for longs on the dollar. While we're looking for longs on the dollar, hopefully we're going to learn and earn whether this move up is a pullback to this last move down or not. If it ends up making a very overlapping pattern up to a Fibonacci level and then breaks down at a Fib level, then obviously the dollar's going to keep on going down. If it just keeps on making higher highs, higher lows, and becomes very impulsive, then we would be looking for longs anyways, right? So what we should be doing is we should take the information from the US dollar analysis and apply it to the US dollar pairs themselves. So moving on to the yield dollar, let's go up to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, this is a little tough because I could picture this being an ABC right here. I could picture this being a pullback to the downtrend. We turned at the 100%, and this is now back into a downtrend. Especially because my overall target was actually quite a bit further down, and I still think there's a chance that the yield dollar could go down quite a bit more. The problem is that this move down right here is not impulsive whatsoever, which makes you think that it's going to go up again at the news, perhaps. So let's keep all that in mind. Let's go down to the 4 hour time frame. Based on our dollar analysis, we should be looking for longs on the dollar, which means we should be looking for shorts on the dollar pairs themselves. So let's take it right down to the 1 hour time frame. Now, the thing is if we get a breaker structure to the upside at a Fibonacci retracement level, which it tried to do today, but it didn't, if it does break to the upside at a Fib level, then we would stop looking for logs and we shorts, and we would start looking for logs on pullbacks. Like I said, this could be a wave C right here, and if it is a wave C, it possibly will be making lower lows, lower highs over the next several trading days, and it would actually be the beginning of a downtrend on the much higher time frames. So I think today is going to be kind of the deciding factor. You can kind of tell that the market has really been waiting for this news event. You know, we got spikes on the top and bottom of all these higher daily time frame candles. So moving on to the pound dollar. Pound dollar is the same thing. I mean, this move down is not looking impulsive whatsoever. But if I was looking at this, I would say on the daily, I would say this definitely looks like it could be an ABC. We're right at the 78%. It definitely did turn. It definitely did break down. It is definitely still a downtrend because it never broke structure to the upside. So if that is the end of a wave C, it will keep on making lower lows, lower highs. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, we definitely got a break to the downside this week on the 4 hour. So we are looking for shorts right now unless it breaks structure to the upside again. If it breaks structure to the upside again, then we'll stop looking for shorts and start looking for longs again. So what we do is we go down to the 1 hour time frame, we throw a Fibonacci retracement from here to here, and we need to observe to see if the market breaks structure to the downside on these sort of time frames at a fib level. If it does break structure to the downside at a fib level, then it might just keep on going down. You know, like I said, because of the dollar index, we're kind of bullish on that, at least for now. We would have to be bearish on all these pairs and perhaps bullish on these pairs. For me, the dollar index is kind of the roadmap that tells me what to do on all these pairs. And if I'm bullish the dollar, I should potentially be bearish the pound dollar also. Moving on to the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar is sitting at the 78% Fibonacci retracement of this whole move down from here to here. And as you can see, it definitely looks like it's acting as resistance. Definitely has not broken structure down yet. And if it does break structure down, you would kind of expect the next move down to be a pullback to this last move up. You know, this would either be an A or a 1, this would either be a B or a 2. And wave B or wave 2, especially on the daily time frame, is very tradable. So if it does go down and do that, that definitely would be a really nice trade for sure. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, the thing is we really don't have any breaks down yet. It's not just the Fibonacci level that's important, it's the Fibonacci level and a break of structure to the downside that is important for me. So, which we definitely do not have that yet. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, We had to see what happens at the news. I mean, if it just shoots up and just keeps on making higher highs, higher lows, then we definitely want to continue to look for longs. Even though we think that it could turn here, the market is making higher highs and higher lows, and because of that, the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour time frame are all in uptrends right now, which means I would be recommending longs. But with such a big news event coming out, it definitely is possible that it goes down, breaks the structure, and starts that big wave B or the big wave 2 to the downside. And moving on to the Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar is very similar to the Aussie dollar, which is why I usually just barely cover it. We have a breaker structure up. I would expect this first move up to be either an A or 1, which possibly could take out this high before it actually turns down and makes a wave B or a wave 2. And then I would expect to see another push up for a wave 3 or a wave C, depending on what it is. So going down to the 4 hour time frame, just like the Aussie dollar, it hasn't broken structure down yet. So we would technically still be looking for longs. The thing is, with such a big news event coming out and with it consolidated right at a Fibonacci level, I do think that it would make sense for this to possibly maybe go up, grab this high, grab some liquidity, and then go down and break structure, confirming that this whole move up is complete. Most likely, the next move would either be a wave B or a wave 2, which would be a pullback to the whole move up. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, like I said, I am technically looking for longs, but with such a big news event coming out, I definitely think there's a possibility that it does break to the downside. Moving on to the US dollar CAD, I am bullish the dollar index, so I would have to potentially be bullish this. This could be a wave A right here. This possibly, especially looking at correlated pairs, could start a wave B. And then eventually down again for a wave C, and this would all be an A, B, C, or B. This would be the big wave A up here. So to me, it would make sense, especially because I'm expecting a pullback on like the Aussie and the Kiwi, like a wave B or a wave 2 on those. I potentially should expect the same type of pattern on this, like a wave B or wave 2 to the upside, especially looking at the dollar index. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, it's really hard to say that we actually broke to the upside on the 4 hour. We really didn't. But on the 1 hour time frame, we definitely did break structure to the upside. So we do know for a fact that this trend right here is complete. So we throw our Fibonacci retracement from here to here. This looks impulsive up. It looks corrective sideways. It looks like we're going to get another impulsive up at the news. And if it really is in like either a wave B or wave 2, like I was explaining on the higher time phase, then it could turn into a pretty good move because the first move up would just be a wave A of B or a wave A of 2, which possibly would go up and take out maybe both of these highs right here. So possibly could be a pretty decent move if that's the case. Moving on to the US dollar Swiss. The US dollar Swiss is normally a little bit different because the Swiss really drives this market. I personally still think there's a chance that it is going to go up and take out these previous highs. So I still think that there's a chance this right here is like an A, B, and then C of wave Y. So overall, I am definitely still very bullish on this one. It's very overlapping, very sideways on the daily. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, on the 1 hour, the 4 hour time frame, we definitely did get a little bit of a push down, but this is a lower high right here, so we can't say that this is a real break of structure. This could just be an ABC pullback within an uptrend, which I actually still think it possibly is. Going down to the 1 hour time frame is where I got my Fibonacci retracement on the last impulsive move up from here to here. If this is an A and this is a B and this is a C, then it should turn at one of these last couple fib levels to the upside, break structure, and then continue up. We still got a few hours until news comes out, so a lot can happen between now and the news. And maybe it'll go down and grab this liquidity before it pushes up. Maybe the dollar will just keep on going down at the news. Like I said, I will be live streaming for this news event, so make sure to stop in for that. Moving on to the gold. Gold has been extremely sideways for quite amount of a time right now. I still think the first push down is an A. I still think this is a wave B. I still think it needs to go up again to complete the wave B before it actually goes down and makes a wave C. And this is probably a wave 4 on like the weekly time frame. So taking it down to the 4 hour time frame, very, very sideways. And if you've been watching my videos on gold, I've been predicting that gold is going to be sideways because it made 5 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves up. I still think this looks like a potential complete pattern because it made another 5 waves down. So this could be like a wave 1, this could be like a wave 2, and it could be getting ready to go up for a wave 3, maybe up to that 78% at the news today. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, I think technically we could get rid of this fib right here. That's probably not the one we want. Where we want to be fibbing now is from this low to this high. Because if this is a wave 1 and this is like an A, B, C of 2, then it potentially could bounce at one of these fib levels and start a pretty big push to the upside for a wave 3, maybe at the news later on. And Yes, this kind of goes against our bullish dollar analysis. Like gold normally doesn't really care a whole lot about what the dollar does. Gold kind of does whatever the gold wants to do, which is one of the reasons why gold is actually one of my least favorite pairs because it doesn't really correlate with anything. It correlates with silver a little bit, but definitely doesn't correlate with the dollar very often. To me, the most likely thing that I think is going to happen with gold though is it's going to go up and make a 1, 2, 3 to the upside, like I was just showing. Moving on to the JPY basket, I always look at this real quickly just so that way it gives me an idea. Just like the US dollar index tells me what to do on the US dollar pairs, the JPY basket tells me what to do on the JPY pairs. There is definitely no reason whatsoever to say that this downtrend is over. We are making lower lows, lower highs. We have no breaker structure up. We have no higher low. We are definitely still bearish on the JPY basket. Even going down to the 4 hour time frame, I mean, there is still no reason to say whatsoever that this move down is complete. We can actually move our structure level down now because we made a new high also. So if it does go up and take out this high, that would turn me bullish the JPY basket. But for now, anything I see to the upside, I definitely would still be looking at as a possible pullback within a downtrend. So if I'm bearish the JPY basket, that means I need to be bullish all the JPY pairs. So I'm taking a look at the US dollar yen. This was one of my best trades of the week so far. A very nice trade. We had a nice 78% fib bounce, a nice break of structure to the upside. We take it up to the daily time frame real quick. You can see that price never did break any structure to the downside on the daily. It made another higher low, another higher low. I still think that it's going to go up and retest this high and possibly even go a lot higher. I see on the monthly time frame a possibility that this low right here is a wave C and that this is actually going to go up and make new highs on the weekly to monthly time frame. Like I said, going down to the 4 hour time frame, it's hard not to continue to be bullish, especially with the JPY basket being bearish and the US dollar index being bullish for me. I think there's a good chance this is still going up in probably a 5 wave structure, probably taking out these previous highs over here. So moving on to the 1 hour time frame, I would assume that this move down right here, one down, three up, and probably one down is nothing more than a pullback within an uptrend, probably a wave one, wave two, wave three. I bet this is a wave four. I think it's going to go up again for a wave five, most likely at the news tonight. So probably what we could do if you really wanted is throw your Fibonacci retracement on the whole move up. A wave forward normally does make at least a 38% pullback, which is down here, but in a strong trend, it can make a 23% pullback also. So keep an eye on your fib levels. I would expect you to see this or possibly see this to the upside. Moving on to the euro yen. Like I've been saying, now that the euro yen went beyond the 123, I would definitely expect it to go up and hit the 138, which is my next big area of resistance. So definitely, especially because of the JPY basket, I'm definitely bullish. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, just like the dollar yen, I think this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that we're still bullish. I think that anything we see to the downside is likely nothing more than a pullback within an uptrend. So, like just like on the US dollar yen, I could put my Fibonacci retracement on just the wave three itself, because to me, it looks like a possible wave one, it looks like a wave two, it looks like a wave three. I think this is like a wave A, this is probably a B, and we're probably down for a wave C, something like this, most likely. I would expect to at least see a 38% pullback, especially because this looks like a pretty good support area. You know, that was kind of a valley-based valley area in the past, could be a nice little spot in the future to end a wave four and potentially go back up again for a wave five. And the pound yen, pretty much exactly the same story as the other yen pairs. I'm definitely still very bullish. If this is a wave B, it definitely still can be a wave B, but my next area of resistance for a wave B is the 105. So I'm definitely still very bullish. I still think there's a good chance that this is heading up to at least this 105% Fibonacci retracement, which is right around the 209.52 area, which is still quite a ways up. Just like the other JPY pairs, it looks like a 1, 2, 3. We're probably four, probably up for again for wave five. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, what I would do on the 1 hours, I would tell my Fibonacci retracement. Mm, Probably on the whole move from here to here. I would expect us to be in a wave four right now, just like the other JPY pairs. So probably a 1, 2, 3, probably a wave four, maybe down to the 38 or even the 50%, and then probably back up for a wave five. Like I said, I am going to be live streaming for tonight's FOMC interest rate news. So make sure you stop in. I'll start that at 6:45 p.m. UK time, or 1:45 Eastern Standard New York time. So make sure you stop in to see my latest analysis on all your favorite pairs at that time at the big news event later on today. So anyways, don't forget to check out my website linked over here in the corner. And as always, thank you for watching and happy trading.